Beyond the Plate RVA. I'm your host, Rebecca Pierce. I'm so happy to be back with you. And today we have a special guest chef, the one and only, those of you in the Richmond area, you probably know him, but his name is Mr. BK Fulton. How are you, Mr. Fulton?
I am doing good.
Mr. Fulton is the CEO and founder of Soulidifly Productions, and one of the reasons why I brought him on the show today is because I follow him on social media and he's always burning in the kitchen. So I thought, well, it looks like you are a chef by heart. So let's bring him on the show with one of the dishes that I saw, which was the fantastic, and I hope I don't mess up the name, right? We are cooking today, well, I'll let you tell us. What are we cooking today?
We are cooking a basil
Yes.
pesto basted Chilean sea bass.
See, and I always mess up the word.
Magnifique.
Magnifique. And I'm so excited about this dish because I've never had sea bass.
Okay.
So
You're in for a treat?
I hope so. So I want you to tell us a little bit, tell our audience perhaps who's also never had this fish before.
Okay.
Like, what kind of fish is it? How much preparation goes into it? How did you get into it?
It's a really wonderful fish. So it's a white fish, and it's kind of pricey.
Okay.
But it runs typically 50 to 100 and something a pound.
Oh, wow, that is pricey.
But you can get it at Whole Foods when they have sales for around 20 and change
Okay.
a pound. So that's a really good price. The fish is really easy to prepare, absorbs whatever spices you put in it, and it has a buttery taste to it, which really comes through.
I
like to cook it with the skin to keep some of the moisture.
Okay.
And then we take it off when we serve, but absolutely fantastic.
Okay, so it's a little bit pricey, but I think this is probably one of the best dishes for a date night. We usually try to do family meals on the show, but I thought, spring is here, it's a romantic time of year, so let's get a good dish. So is this something you do cook often for your honey?
All the time.
She's watching it, she's loving it. Okay, so let's get prepared. I know you have a ton of spices that you use, and I can't wait to learn about these spices. So where's our little fish at? What are we doing today?
Okay, so we have the fish here. So before I put the fish in, we preheat our oven to 400.
400.
So really important. You can do lower, but I like to do 400 for about 18 to 20 minutes. I don't want the fish to be dry,
Right.
and I don't want it to be undercooked.
Okay.
So I do the 400 for 20 minutes. But before I put the fish in, I prepare my secret sauce.
Oh boy.
With these special blends, these special spices.
Oh yes, tell us
so,
about these.
And so I'm gonna tell you about them as I throw them in. And so first, just a little virgin olive oil.
Just a little,
and you just put it in. Now, I don't really measure, cause but I put it in generous. And then I get a little rice vinegar.
Okay, what does rice vinegar do?
Rice vinegar, what it will do when we put the basil pesto reduction in, it'll help to emulsify it, to reduce it, so that it spreads out. So right now it's more like a paste, and then when I put the vinegar in and I'll thin it out with my spoon, it will actually meld into the sauce. It's really nice.
Okay, so how much do you put in
there? Then you put a
there?
little vinegar in there. Just put a little bit in there.
I'm being nosy, y'all. I have to be
You
nosy.
know.
Wait a minute, was that like a tape? You're a non-measuring cook.
I'm a
aren't you?
non-measuring cook. Then I swirl that around a little
Swirl.
bit. Let the oil and vinegar mix. It's kind of cool.
Yay, okay.
Okay. And then, so this spice is an African spice with a za'atar in it from Israel. And so it's really important when you get the za'atar. So you can get the za'atar as a blend,
Yes.
but it's really better to get it with the herb in it from the Middle East. And so I go to a place in Charlottesville called the Spice Diva.
I was gonna say,
and they're the
you can't
only
get that
place to
anywhere.
really get that. I mean, the other
Okay.
places around town, they have the mixed thyme and a few other things, but it's a blend, but it doesn't have the herb.
How'd you learn about
Traditional
that?
za'atar. I was eating at a restaurant, and they were telling me about this great spice that they actually put on breads.
Oh,
so I started reading more, and in the Middle East, a lot of them will have bread recipes, naan, etc. But every household puts their version of za'atar and oil, and you bake it. But I learned, and also from the Spice Diva, that you can put it on fish. You mix it with a little apple smoked salt, and it's woo.
Apple smoked salt.
But anyway, so you put a little of this, sprinkle this right in here generously.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
And then this is a butter steak seasoning that you
I've
kind
never
of
heard of
throw in
butter
there.
steak. You're going to a whole new level over here.
All right. Then a little chili lime powder.
Chili lime.
Little chili lime powder. We're gonna throw that in there. Let me go ahead and throw in my basil pesto so it can start to reduce.
Now, do you make that on your own, or?
I don't make this. I actually picked this up from Costco.
Oh, hey Costco, shout out.
And you can get that. So I throw that in there.
Looks like about a cup.
Yeah. And then I want that rice wine vinegar
to mix with it.
To mix with that, to start to break that down. We've got some caramelized onions. It already smells good. You can smell it. Yeah. Caramelized onions. Okay. We've got a garlic butter seasoning.
Garlic.
So we throw that in there.
That sounds good too.
And then a honey garlic seasoning.
Never heard of honey garlic either.
Throw that in there.
You're taking us on a journey for food,
Take
aren't
on
you?
a journey.
Look at that.
And then to give the sauce a little bit more volume,
I'm gonna
just add a little cold water.
Ooh, that looks like about
Okay.
fourth cup of water.
Yeah, see, I appreciate that. Then I'm gonna get my little spoon.
And you're gonna mix it.
Gonna mix that around.
Oh, that smells so good,
that
you
what
guys.
you get
Oh my goodness.
is this really fluid sauce. And then it's going to be really great because we're going to baste our sea bass in it.
That looks beautiful.
Oh, it's going to taste even better.
The fish isn't even in it, and I just want to drink the sauce.
Yeah, well, ironically, my wife puts it on salad.
Oh, really?
We cook this wonderful bread, and then we'll dip the bread in it and sop it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, so you can really get into it. So then we're going to open up this fish here.
Okay, let's look at this beautiful sea bass.
It's a beautiful piece of fish.
Did you buy this you bought this with the skin on, or?
We buy it with the skin on.
Okay, there it is.
And then I just take it and rinse it a little bit.
I'm gonna move out of the way here.
But it's a lovely piece of fish.
Look at that. It looks almost like a salmon.
It looks almost like a salmon except for the white color instead of the more pinkish with the salmon. But that's what the skin looks like. And I just wash that off a little bit. Some people like to pat them dry before they put it in the oven, but it's not really necessary.
Okay.
And then because it's all going to go in here, I'm going to baste it. And so you just place that in the pan. Okay, I'm going to get me a paper towel. So put that in there like that. And then we're going to take our same spoon. And we're just going to spoon that over the sea bass.
Because I was wondering, I thought you were going to like put all the seasoning like on top of it. I'm ghetto. This is how we do it at home. No, you do the mixing all together.
Spread it on.
And then spread it on. That's great.
And then what I will do sometimes, and I'll do that here since we have a little time, is I will.
Look at that.
So you just give it and be generous. You spread that out, and then what I'll do is I'll add a few little seasonal touches here, there.
Oh, seasonal touches.
Yeah. Well, you'll see.
Oh.
And so, my wife was my sous chef, and so she laid everything out kind of mise en place style.
Oh, thank you.
And
because I don't do mise en place.
And then the butter one is one of my favorite to just kind of garnish just a little bit, just sprinkle a little bit on top, just for a little add, because I like that butter taste to come through, and it really goes well with the butter taste in the fish. True. Okay, and then we preheated our oven, so we're good. And we're just gonna, can you open that for me? I'm gonna slide this in here. Okay.
Look at that.
And then we're just gonna slide, let's show this, see what it looks like before.
Look at that,
see
isn't
that?
beautiful?
Very beautiful.
Smells
It
delicious.
smells good.
Oh my goodness.
And then we're just gonna throw that in here.
Woo.
And then we're gonna time that for 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Now, how did you figure out 20 minutes is like the best time to cook that without it being overcooked?
What I used to do was cook on about 350 because I wanted to retain moisture, and I cooked it slow. But a brother was ready to eat.
So hunger drove you to the higher temperature.
All right, let me turn up the temperature.
Let's see what it does.
And a little trial and error.
Okay.
And then after a while, you figure out kind of a formula, and then you just do the formula.
So you created this whole recipe just out of experiment.
All off the top of the dome.
So is that what attracts you to food, is the ability to be able to just like think outside the box and put it together and see what happens?
I think that's fair. I'm a relative creative person, and when I'm happy, I do stuff that makes me happy.
And cooking makes you happy?
And cooking makes me happy, especially when my bride is happy or friends. I mean, my wife's a practicing attorney, and she would have her associates to come over as part of their welcome to Richmond. Oh, and my husband will cook.
Oh,
So I had to be on my A game.
Right.
The other thing I do sometimes is I'll add a little pico de gallo.
Oh.
So with the tomatoes, the onions,
yeah.
and adds a little bit more meatiness to it, a little substance to it. And then there's another variant where we'll do on another show where I actually use a peanut sauce and a couple of other
Thai
flavors, and it gives it this Thai feeling. But really good. I mean, that fish just does wonders. And then the sauce, you can leave it. Again, it makes for a great dressing. I mean, it's like, it's off the chain.
Are you sure you weren't a chef in another life?
Well, I do have my thermometer.
And you like how he invited himself on another show? You like how he did that?
You start that. I just slid that in there.
Okay. So with the fish, like, what are some of the side dishes that? Because we're gonna do a salad today. We're gonna do a basic romaine lettuce salad. But like, what typically do you usually eat that fish with the salad or whatever?
We usually have it with the salad. Every now and then we'll have it with red beans and lentils.
Oh.
We'll have some naan bread because we like to sop everything up.
Wait, you buy the naan, you don't bake it, right?
We do buy the naan.
Okay. Like, if you bake your bread too, it's a wrap.
Well, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to start baking the bread.
I didn't started something. I'm sorry. Jackie, that's his wife. I'm sorry, Jackie. My bad. Okay, now we're gonna be baking bread. Okay, so usually with bread or salad, some lentils, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
And do you ever do any other starches, or is it?
Rice, jasmine rice.
Jasmine rice,
It's really good. I mean, my wife's got me eating more healthy.
Yeah.
So we do, probably less of the stuff with sugars and things like that.
Okay.
So that's why the salad is gonna be perfect.
Yes, we're gonna do a basic salad. When I was thinking about what to put together with the meal, right? So I thought I like romaine lettuce. That's one of my favorite lettuces. I think because it's so leafy, right? But some people like, the greens, the mixed greens. But sometimes for me it's too bitter. So I thought we would just do a basic, romaine lettuce here. We're gonna just chop it up, and I'm gonna let you spin it. I don't know how much lettuce you want, but we're gonna put a good amount. Because the people in my house don't like lettuce. But I like lettuce.
Yeah. Lettuce is good for you.
Lettuce is very good for you. So
that's all you want in there?
What you want? You like a lot of lettuce?
Yeah.
You like a lot of salad? Okay.
We gonna feed this one bowl right here.
One bowl. That ain't no one bowl. This is a couple bowls right here. We're gonna. And I don't know, some people get real fancy and they just use a knife to cut it all up. But I like to just use my hands.
Tear it up. Yeah, that's the easy way to do it.
I'm from the old school. We're just gonna do it with the hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna do
all right,
in there.
You want to go with that?
Yeah.
Anybody got a timer? I'll time it. I got a timer.
You got a time cutting up lettuce. You put the lettuce in there.
No, for the fish.
Oh, did you?
You
didn't put the timer on?
I got it. It's a clock in my head.
See, that's the difference between men and women. They didn't put the timer on.
I got it.
Okay, we're gonna
so then
rinse
you
that off.
rinse this
I think
off.
we started at 2:10.
Yeah, 2:10.
Yeah.
So 2:30 will be ready.
Now this is something new I've never used.
So this is a fancy schmancy salad spinner. So you put this on.
I'm just used to a colander.
And you can actually lock it in.
Yes, and
then you just do this number.
That's right.
What it does is gets all the water out.
Can't you just put it in the colander and top it up?
You can, but then you can't use the fancy schmancy spinner.
This is true. Okay, so while you're doing that, I like these big beautiful tomatoes. I mean, you could use.
Are those heirloom?
I wish they were. These are actually organic Roma tomatoes, and you could use the big fat round ones, which I don't really like. I like these because you can cut it up in different sizes. So, do you like your tomatoes round, or do you like them like in diced pieces?
For a salad?
Yeah.
I tend to like them cut up so they're in bite-sized portions.
Okay, good. So I cut mine down the middle.
Whatever you do.
Whatever works. Do that. And I want to be careful because today I'm wearing a really fancy, pretty apron. This is A's.
It is a very nice
apron. Thank you.
And did you know purple was for royalty? So
and I am royal. That's
I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm asking your husband about that.
He would agree. There we go. And then now for that, we want to put them in individual bowls, or do you like put them in one big bowl and people can take out what they like? What do you like to do?
I'm flexible. I mean, like so my wife is usually the head of that department.
Okay. Put it
I cook. And then she tells me what we're gonna do next.
So tell me about Soulidifly Productions. As those of you who follow the show know, we are one of the TV shows on SoulVision.tv's app. Right. So tell us, how did you go with this big tech guy? How did you get into putting up shows like that? What are you looking for?
Sure.
How exciting is your industry right now?
It's exciting, especially with the theaters and the ability to kind of go out and film opening back up. We just think we're going to have even more demand, but we have about 500 hours.
Oh, wow.
About 100,000 people see some form of our media between the TV network and the magazine that we have. And,
which we've been in a couple times.
And our films. And so it's really exciting. But SoulVision.tv, we launched February, I think, of 2019.
Right.
And I was like, it's a Valentine's Day gift.
Oh,
and we give away the content, and it's about uplift cinema and encouraging programming. Some of it's faith-based, a lot of it's talk shows about STEM, about cooking.
Right.
We're working on an exercise show.
Oh, really?
We've got some movies on.
I need to be an exercise show.
All right, come on. and so I'm having a great time with it. I mean, I used to run a little phone company called Verizon, and I retired from there.
Wait, stop. He said a little phone company called Verizon. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw that in there, okay.
And then after I retired, I was like, well, what do I do next? And part of it was to leave behind a digital legacy. And I decided that the films that were out there just so often told from this point of view of our sorrows.
Right.
And I got tired of it. It made me sad. And definitely coming out of this pandemic, I want to be happy. I want to be lifted. And so our films are about uplift. And our magazine stories, and we featured Quincy Jones, Stevie Wonder, Jeffrey Wright, Vivica Fox, Deborah Martin Chase. We're about to release a few with some big-time celebrities.
Yes, we've been following you.
We're on set now in Jackson, Mississippi with Bruce Willis, Leon Robinson, Frank Grillo, George Lopez. Film called A Day to Die. We're about to release a film called Freedom's Path.
Right.
And so it's been fun getting into this space. One of our books just won a National Book Award.
Yes, it did.
Tale of the Tea. We've got...
But wait, you're an author too, though.
That's right. That's my book. I wrote that with a guy named Jonathan Blank.
Right, but your children's book, though.
Mr. Business. I was just going to mention Mr. Business. We got 7 books out now in the marketplace and on Audible. We're about to release the 8th book and a middle school reader. And so all that stuff will be out in May.
So when do you find time to get in the kitchen and burn if you're doing all of that?
Oh, brother, gotta eat. And you know what? Just to keep it real, the pandemic forced us to stay in a little more.
Right.
And we don't really miss the restaurants like I thought I would.
Okay.
Because the cooking has become therapeutic.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
And and it's an act of love.
Stress reliever.
Stress relief.
Right.
And so we do a lot of that, and we enjoy it. We know who's prepared the meals, and those kind of things. The love activity, it can be a date night.
Right. You guys cook together too, right?
We do cook together.
Oh,
yeah. Jackie's typically the sous chef. She'll do all the salads. She makes a mean hand-rubbed kale spinach.
Oh,
that
hand-rubbed? Hand
rubbed.
We're gonna have to bring her on the show just to even explain hand-rubbed.
It's delicious.
Really?
It's delicious.
Oh my
And then don't let me mess around and cook some of my special buffalo
no, that was next.
barbecue
I saw
chicken wings. in my air fryer.
Oh,
we
Lord, in the air fryer.
Get ready.
Oh my goodness. Do you I love fruit in my salad.
I do.
Although unfortunately I'm allergic to strawberries, so my replacement I found was craisins.
Yeah, craisins are good.
You like craisins?
And I do. And you can get those infused with different flavors. I don't know if they have strawberry. I've seen them infused with cherry and other things, but I just like them like they are.
Okay, well I love craisins in our salad, so we're gonna do that.
Let's do it
when we plate our salad. But
okay.
First, I wanted you to tell me because I had my own little salad dressing that I brought, but Mr. Fulton, he likes to up my game, so he brought us this Brianna's wonderful. This is ginger mandarin dressing. So, all right, you said it's the truth, nothing but the truth.
This is an award-winning dressing. It is one of the best dressings I have ever tasted in my life.
And
they also make a Caesar with Asiago cheese in it. They have so many different brands. This one sells out all the time. So when we can find it, we buy it in bulk.
Oh, wow.
So that we have it.
Right.
You can usually find the other ones, but any really good grocery store will have the Brianna's.
This one, okay.
Yeah, and that was the hardest to find, the ginger mandarin. Yeah, but it's really delicious.
Well, shout out to this company for their fabulous salad dressing. And so I smell the fish.
It smells good.
Do you need to check the fish? Like, do you check it halfway through or you let it cook?
I got
all
my
the way?
formula. I'm a bad man. I don't got to check
He's a
nothing.
bad, shut your mouth. He's a bad, shut your mouth. Okay, so while you're doing that, let's grab a, let me ask you in terms of plating.
Yeah.
Like when you plate your fish,
Yeah.
do you like plate it by itself? Do you put the salad in another bowl or do you put it on the plate with the fish?
Probably a little of both. It depends. Like, so if we're eating something that has its own sauce or runs,
Right.
we may put it in a bowl.
Okay.
If it's just a salad and we know we're going to have some of that dressing on it, we don't mind if it kind of mixes with the juice
with
of
the
it.
fish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So either way, really,
Okay.
really, whatever you want to do, whatever works for.
You're the guest chef. What would you like to do? Plate it with the fish or put it in its own separate bowl? Especially
Well,
with this beautiful
let's
dressing.
plate it with the fish, just
Perfect.
because for the camera and stuff, I don't want people to miss it. And so if we have the bowl, then the bowl might get in the way.
That's true.
So we're just gonna put it on there, and then that's the way people kind of eat at home, right?
This is true.
You know, all these bowls and stuff. That means more stuff to watch.
Listen. And I got dishwashers at home, but sometimes they don't operate well, called children. Anyway,
Ooh,
so
yeah, they be broke a lot.
they broke a lot. Okay, this looks beautiful. I know
That's
I'm
a
probably
lovely
not
salad.
supposed to mix it in
Okay.
there, but I like to keep my salad really typically like one plate, one
Okay.
place.
Okay.
That's just me. So I'm glad you said let's put it all on the plate, and we're gonna do that with that delicious salad. So
Okay.
what's coming up next for Soulidifly Productions after all? Like, where would you like to see not only your company go in the next year for 2021, but where would you like to go personally? Would you like to do more traveling to learn more things to cook? Are you going to experience? What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, personally, I'll keep cooking and we'll try different things. My wife is really good at sending recipes
Ooh.
for us to try. That means for me
Yes.
to make.
Code, make this, honey.
But that said, we'd like to do more films. We've got 3 films in production. We're actually seeking funding. One's a sports film, one's a drama, and the other one is a sci-fi drama.
Ooh,
that's really
sci-fi.
cool.
I love sci-fi.
And we're about to launch an app that allows people to go to the movies for free, pay for in-game purchases for free.
Ooh.
And so that's going to be cool. We'll launch that this summer. It's called
Ooh.
Pre-Show. And
Are we going to have any of your food at the cafe?
we can.
Oh, the lunch.
But typically, I mean, when I cook, it's like, it's mostly for my family.
Right.
And occasionally I'll go down to my parents' house and surprise them and
Meal.
give them some food.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because I'm a good son.
Oh, he's such a good boy.
And and so we have fun. So my dad now thinks he can cook.
Oh, so you have father-son cook-offs? Or are you going to have that?
I don't know if I
one?
would call it that, because his thing is he can put it all in the microwave and make it taste the same. So he would have like your salad,
Oh, no.
a couple pieces of fish, put it in a bowl,
Oh, no.
and put it all in the microwave.
Okay, yeah, no.
Yeah. Like if my dad says like, hey, you want one of my breakfast sandwiches?
Oh, no.
Just pass. Just say, I already ate. That's what I already ate.
That's not right. Well, I love it. Oh my gosh, this food smells so good. I think you have 10 minutes left on here.
6 minutes.
So when you're
But who's counting?
6 minutes, is it 6 minutes?
It's 6 minutes.
Yeah, he's right. I can't add. That's probably why I'm not cooking today. Well, I'm never cooking the show. So when you're cooking, when your food is resting, what are you doing while the food is cooking? Are you looking up other recipes? Are you watching TV
I'm
on the
watching
phone?
TV, or I may have a comforting beverage. And so I was looking for. Oh, I do have it here.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I was like, I thought, where did I put my beverage? So inside my company cup.
He's the marketing guru.
Inside my company cup, I have a adult beverage.
But what would you drink with this meal? Like, if it's a date night, what do you drink with
You mind
it?
if I sip?
Go ahead. But versus if it's what would be a good family drink to have with this meal?
Water. Government juice. No.
Kool-Aid. That's cold for Kool-Aid.
No. So
No.
ginger ale, water.
Okay.
We like
it's butter, that's why
aloe
I
vera
said it.
drinks, lemonade, anything like that. I mean, when we have guests and we've had this, we've had water and wine.
Okay.
Okay, now
because it's buttery, so
it is buttery, so you can pair it with the nice white. But some people are giving up alcohol and stuff. So just, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with water.
No, not at all.
You know,
we need more of it.
Right, it's good for your body. It's like milk does your body good. So does water.
Yes.
You know, but we're trying to be much more health conscious.
I like that.
Yeah. So, but I would do some water, and then a fun dessert.
Oh, speaking of dessert,
Ah.
we do have dessert today.
Oh, there you go.
You know, this is probably one of the first times on the show. Well, I've had desserts a couple times, but we decided to do something special today. We are going to have a dessert that we'll talk about momentarily.
Okay,
but
I love it.
What dessert do you typically? I'm putting this in the thing now because I'm mother mode. It's driving me nuts.
What I've been enjoying lately is raspberry sorbet with a little honey whiskey in there.
Oh, that sounds real good.
Oh,
why didn't we think
good.
of that for today? Why didn't we think of that?
Yeah, you know.
I'm not really a sorbet fan, but that sounds good.
It's real
Ooh,
good.
raspberry
It's
sorbet.
real good.
Okay.
And you know, just like, because like I don't know all the rules in cooking. Really, I really do get in there. Well, maybe not, but I really get in there, just do my thing, and then whatever tastes good
is what you like.
I try to remember it so I can do it again. Because that's the problem with like I get like jazzmatazz cooking because I don't always do the same thing every time.
Right.
And so when you're asking me like how much you put in, I'm like,
I don't know.
just put it in there, you know. But with
that's old school.
But with that's the old school. That's how grandma used to cook.
Right. That's how they
So with the raspberry sorbet, I accidentally poured the honey whiskey in there.
Really?
And then it deliberately tastes good.
Wait, how do you accidentally?
That's what I'm saying. You know, it just kind of fell in there. And so then you taste it, woo, that's good.
You should market that. Oh,
she's like, woo, that's good. So we've been having that every now and then.
Every now and then.
Every now.
Okay.
Responsibly.
That's not something you can give to the children now.
No, not for the children. Date night.
Yes, there you go, date night. So let's grab a plate.
Okay.
And
I'm
what
gonna
we
leave the
want to
bowl.
do is we are gonna think about prepping here.
Okay.
Right? I think we have what?
You need
4 minutes or something on today. We'll start with 2.
Yep.
Right? And then I had salad tongs. What do we do?
You got salad
You
tongs?
got salad tongs?
We can make up some.
I had a salad tong and I don't know what happened to
There
it.
you go. Salad tongs.
So
Invented.
we're definitely going to invent it. So, so question.
Yes.
Your fish, when the fish comes out, how big a piece? How big piece do you give? Like, if it's just a 2 of you, do you guys get like half of it if you got a pound, or
We try to save some for leftovers, but we can cut this because we're having a salad with it. We can just cut it, and it'll be soft enough. We can actually spoon cut it, and then you just serve it to hunger.
Okay.
Yeah. So for these purposes, we probably just leave a little bit on the plate. We don't have to do the whole thing, or we can. It's up to you.
All right. So while
I'm hoping y'all save me a little bit for later.
Well, listen here. I can't say nothing about the cameraman, but
Right.
I can only speak for myself. So we're gonna.
No, it's good. They're gonna want to eat some of it.
Play a little bit on there. I'm gonna make 2 voluptuous plates, and so as I'm doing that, I am also going to share what kind of dessert we have for today. So you said with the fish bring dessert. So what I did was, some people know that I do some baking. So I made for us today some red velvet cupcakes.
Woo! I love that.
I call them shut your mouth cupcakes.
That's what we need right there.
Made from scratch, because we only do from scratch, right? And so when you're finished with your fish, then you can have a cupcake.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That's good looking up.
All right. So we got our salad plated, and you're drinking your beverage in there. So for the young man, one of the things I find as a mother, like, I have a 20-year-old son. Well, he'll be 20 in August, and I never really put him in the kitchen, but he's starting to want to experiment on his own with cooking. What is your advice to young men who think like, keep your focus on always, the hustle, making the money, doing, pushing and pushing, but what about, like you said, being able to prepare a meal, cook a meal for your girl? Yeah. What's your advice to young men about stepping in that kitchen and just trying things out so that you can be, it's a stress reliever, like you said, be more well-rounded?
Well, a lot of times young men ain't trying to hear nothing about no stress.
This is true.
What I think you tell them things like, even the best car needs fuel. Food is fuel. If you learn how to prepare it, you won't starve.
This is true.
Okay. The other thing you have to tell them on the other side of that is a man that don't work, don't eat. Okay.
Teach a man to fish, right?
Right. Teach him to fish.
Life, right?
And so it kind of grows on you. Because for some people, they think it's going to be hard.
Right.
Because what they get is they go to the restaurant, or they see the stuff that mama or grandmom or whoever is caring for them has done. They're like, how did you do that? How did you get those flavors and things like that? So if you bring them into the kitchen while you're preparing and let them see that it's not that challenging, and then have them to help you and have good memories about it, then as they get older, I think it'll be kind of a natural for them. Otherwise, they're going to do what I did when I was young or in college. You got the fried bologna sandwich, peanut butter and jelly,
I like the peanut butter and jelly now.
and whatever you can kind of put together quick, as opposed to doing the prep. But it was like 20 minutes.
Right.
And the food is restaurant quality. I mean, what we're going to have today, I would hold up
to a restaurant,
to any restaurant on the planet.
And you know what? This is also affordable and economical because that fish probably only cost you about maybe $28.
About that. Whereas if you got it in a restaurant, it'd be the whole meal would be $100.
Yeah, fish
a person,
salad, per person, right? And the romaine lettuce, you can get that for $1, maybe $2. Tomatoes about $1, and a bag of craisins. And so you could have a nice.
Look at that right there.
Woo, look at that.
That's nice and hot. It's beautiful.
A nice meal for about $35.
Throw that up there. Cut the oven off. You don't need to put anything in the oven, do you?
No.
Okay, we're gonna cut that off. And then what I like to do is do one more little basting thing. Where I put,
burn yourself. That's another thing about being in the kitchen. You just never know what's gonna happen.
It's hot for real.
That was a real reaction. I think, but you know what? That incident just happened. That's one of the things that actually scares my kids about being in the kitchen. They're afraid of getting popped, like when you're doing like something with grease in it, or even an egg. They're terrified of doing it. But that's how you learn.
That's how you learn. And but this is. I mean, I love this dish. It's pretty, presents well, and the taste is going to fabulous. So I'm gonna put this thing back on. You ready for a piece?
Yes. So you need a. Oh, you just use your spatula?
I just use the spatula.
Oh, we cut down the middle.
Yeah.
Ooh, you do it like chunks.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that. Oh,
okay, remember, now I didn't cut the skin off this, so it's a little skin on the bottom, but you can take that off. Ain't that pretty?
Ooh, look at that. I haven't even put the dressing on the...
You hadn't even put the dressing on.
Nope, I haven't put the dressing on the salad yet.
You're talking too much. Let me get my plate.
I know. I'm bringing it. You're rushing me. I'm bringing it.
I'm ready to get into mine. We're going to have to say something for the people.
We'll try to say something for people. I cannot wait to taste it. Okay.
All right.
This is yours. Oh, and so how do you know?
What do you mean that's mine? Give me the little piece. All right, that's all right.
No, this is mine. So, but how do you know when this fish is cooked? Like, how can you tell?
You can take, I brought my thermometer. I knew you were going to ask me that. So 140 degrees inside is the technical way
to tell.
You take the thing out and you do the little joint. Hold that. And you put that in 140 degrees internal temperature. You're good to go. Okay?
But poor man, black man style.
Okay. What the people do is they put it in, and then when it looks like it's flaky,
right,
where you can just kind of fork into it, then you know you're good to go.
Okay.
Like that. Now, I want you to taste it. I want to sit back and watch it. I ain't even gonna taste it. Just taste a little piece. Watch this. Oh Lord, she's praying on it. Amen.
We're gonna pray because I've never had this fish before.
Did you take the skin off? You got the skin on the bottom?
Take the skin off. Is it alright?
You got a little bit on it.
I do.
Let's take that off. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. All right, there you go. All right. It's gonna be good.
Okay, here we go.
Don't hit nobody.
Okay. Oh, that is good.
Think that's saying something?
Oh my goodness, this is nice and flaky, like you said. And then when you think the seasoning is like
mercy. But I think compete with any restaurant anywhere in the world. That's good right there.
This is good.
And buttery, and got the moistness to it.
That's what I taste too.
You taste the butter?
I can taste the butter. I can taste the pesto. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me bring this close to you because now I'm gonna bring you your dessert.
So good right there.
Yes, it does. So I'm coming to the
back. You put no dressing on the salad?
Oh, you want dressing? I don't know how much you want on your salad.
Well, you know I want more than none.
This is true. So I'm actually gonna get a little plate.
Okay. Y'all have to get some of this. This is good. We're talking to the cameraman audience and the makeup lady.
They have to have some.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my bride. I'm gonna taste them.
So these are from, of course, this
That's
is
good right there.
my other company, Maggie's Cupcake Cafe, right?
Mm-hmm.
We specialize in making homemade desserts made from scratch like grandma used to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taught, of course, by my mother, who was taught by her mother how to make a cake, cookies, all that from scratch. And so to celebrate, to go with the romantic dinner, I thought, why not red velvet? So we have red velvet with sugar sprinkles or without. Which one?
Let me do without, because I'm trying to lose
That's what I
weight.
thought. So I said, I'm only gonna do.
But I'm gonna eat 2.
I'm gonna do 2 of these, right? There's yours.
Thank you. Can I go ahead and taste it?
You can go ahead and taste it.
All
I'm gonna
right.
put this on the plate. So
What is this, like a sour cream or something?
this is just.
Icing? What kind of icing?
This is a cream cheese.
Cream cheese. Okay.
And with red velvet, you want to do a cream cheese?
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, because it's real soft and it's luxurious, and you can add stuff to it if you want to, but
That's good.
just want a basic traditional red velvet cupcake.
That's delicious.
You like that?
Wow, I do.
Is that better than the other cake I got you?
I wasn't gonna bring that up. See that, Auntie, how you do?
Every chef has their bad
Everything
day
you
in
do
the kitchen.
is wonderful.
This is wonderful. So I'm glad
This
you
is
like
really
that.
good.
Yay! And
Oh
so,
man.
so this will be. There we go.
Mm.
So next time you have
You know what's fun about cooking show?
what?
You get to eat, but especially if it's good. I don't want to be on no bad cooking show.
This is true. So, ladies and gents, that has been our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning into Beyond the Plate RVA with our fantastic chef extraordinaire, Mr. BK Fulton.
Yes, and thank you for bringing this je ne sais quoi.
You're welcome. Bienvenue. So join us next time on Beyond the Plate RVA when we have another great chef. And again, thank you to A's Apron for my fantastic apron today. And of course, my awesome team that helps us put the show together. Have a great week, y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to get back to eating my food.
Yes, absolutely. If we get some more of this fish.